Hey, what is going on, guys? It is Young here, and today I'm back in a Fortnite video. And in today's video, I'm gonna give you guys some tips and tricks to help you guys out with editing. And as well, I'm gonna show you guys a few edits and techniques that you guys should be practicing in creative or playgrounds. That's really gonna have a big impact in your game. And as well, I have an 18 kill gameplay in this video. And the thing about the 18 kill gameplay is I barely had any kills until I got into the top 15 players. I really had like 6 kills with 15 left, and I was still able to drop 18, so I absolutely went off in the second half of the game, and I'm going to be showing that gameplay here in this video. And before we get into the video, I have a V-Buck giveaway. If you guys want a chance to win some free V-Bucks, all you need to do is to drop a like on this video, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on my notifications, and leave a comment down below of your Xbox gamer tag, your PSN gamer tag, or Epic account. And as well, if you guys don't already, make sure you guys have me added and supported as a creator. It's super simple to do. All you need to do is go to the item shop, then just tap X and hit support a creator, and then type in my code. It's the same as my gamer tag. Just type in Young Humor and you will have me added and supported as a creator. And alright guys, let's get right to the video. Alright, so in this video, I want to be talking about some different editing tips and techniques that you guys should be using when it comes to editing in Fortnite. That's really going to help you guys edit faster and just more efficiently in Fortnite. And I really do think one of the most important edits in Fortnite is the edit that I'm showing right here. This is something that you guys definitely need to master if you guys haven't already. And of course, for me, I don't get it every single time. There is going to be occasions in game where I'm going to be messing it up, but for the most part, I'm very good at this edit, and I have it down pretty well. And just a side tip for you guys, when you go for this edit, you always want to make sure that you edit going upwards. Because if you edit facing down, so basically you go from the left side to the bottom side, what's going to happen is after you go for the edit, your sight's going to be pointed downwards, and it's going to be very hard to hit headshots or even hit for a lot of damage if your sight's all the way down. So when you're running across, you always want to make sure that your sight is going up when you go for the edit. So because after you edit and you have the sight going up, you guys can see exactly that my shot's going to be upwards, and it's going to be a lot easier to hit headshots. And I really think that's an undervalued tip that a lot of players don't do. It's just making sure that you edit so from the bottom up. Because once you go from the bottom up, like I said, your sight's already going to be high. And in a close quarter situation where you're in tilted towers, or maybe in retail row, or maybe you're just right next to a player and the wall's up, you always want to make sure that you have enough time to get that shot up and make sure that you can go for headshots. Because I always try to aim for the head when I'm using the shotgun, because aiming for the head and hitting headshots does twice as much damage. So if you can hit a headshot, you're going to do significantly more damage. So with every single shot, at least trying to make an effort to go for a headshot is going to set you up for a huge advantage and allow you to get way more kills. So the first building technique or drill that you guys should be practicing is when you run and then you also edit at the exact same time. And this is very effective for a lot of reasons. And mainly one of the reasons and one of the things that I use it for the most in game is if after I go for a shot, pretty much every single time I'm going to be placing a wall and a ramp, or at least place a wall or something along those lines. And if I can go for a shot, I hit that shot and I place my wall, I can immediately go for the edit and line up another shot. And most of the time when you're going against most of the players in this game, they're not going to be ready for it at all, and you're going to have a wide open shot. And as well, it's very hard to guard, especially because when you do it very quickly, it's just very hard to see it coming, and unless you're ready for it, you're going to at least have another opportunity or at least another shot to get off. And also when you're doing this, like I mentioned earlier, you always want to edit going upwards, because once you edit upwards, your shot's going to be lined up a lot higher, which is going to allow you to get easier headshots. And with learning something like this, I really don't think it would take you guys too long. Of course, it's going to take a little bit of practice, and it might take a few days to have it down. But this is something that really isn't the most difficult thing to do. And once you get it down, you're going to have it every single time. So when you get into games and you need to go for an edit like this after you place a wall, it's going to be second nature, and you're going to be able to get a lot easier shots than other players and also get more headshots. And just be able to kill players a lot quickly. And with that one right there, I also have another kind of variant to it, and this is something that you can use in a game. Maybe you're playing against a squad, and of course when you're playing against squads, I always recommend that, if you're in a box, at least you try to extend it out too, because if you only are in one box and you get sprayed at, most of the time, or even if you're not getting sprayed at right away, most of the time if you have a box of two, most players are going to think there's at least two players in there, and they're not going to be focusing on one wall. So at least if you have two of them, you're not going to get focused as hard. But if you just have one box and then an entire team sees that box and they see you're inside of it, every single time they're going to go absolutely crazy on the box, spam it from multiple different angles, and it's going to be very difficult to get out of. So just branching yourself outwards a little bit is going to be very, very effective and very helpful for a lot of situations. And this is still something that I've been practicing a little bit, and it can be very difficult, especially with me that I'm not playing on the craziest high building sensitivity. I play on a 1.45. So my building sensitivity really isn't that crazy high, but I'm still able to do it pretty well. But honestly, if I had it a little bit higher, I would be able to do this a lot better. But even with that being said, I can still do it quickly enough to where I need it. And this build right here really goes along really well with the first build that I showed you, because when you're doing this, a lot of really good players are going to be able to do this while running the exact same time. So they go for the edit, they place the walls around, they place the floor and the pyramid above, and then they can keep running. My sensitivity is not high enough to do it completely fluid, but at least I can try a little bit and get a lot of my walls up. And I can honestly do this if I didn't have to place the floor and the ramp above, and that's what makes it very, very challenging. But honestly, getting a build like this down is going to be very helpful for a lot of games, scrims, squad games, duo games, and just branching out. There's going to be a lot of situations where you want to branch out, and just having this build down is going to be very, very helpful. And the last edit that you guys should be practicing for a lot of different reasons, I'm going to show you guys the exact reason why you would want to practice this edit. And the edit that I'm going to show you guys is the edit where you edit the top 3 squares. And there's a few reasons in which you'd want to use this. I would say the first reason in which you would want to use this is if someone's in a box, or maybe you're just trying to get a shot off. It does allow for a lot of extra protection other than if you just edit the 3 squares. So if you edit the squares on the side, you can see how your body's really, really exposed. So it can be very easy for the other players to get shot on you. But if you edit the top 3 squares, it makes it a lot harder for the other players that are on the other side to go for shots on you. So when you do something like that, it's going to make it very difficult, at least for the other players to get shots on you. And another reason why you want to practice this edit and why it's very, very effective is, say you're in a box and you want to get out. The main reason why you'd want to go for this edit instead of an edit where you just edit the top 3 squares or on the side like that, the reason why you wouldn't want to do that is just in case you ever want to close your edit, which I'm about to show. Because if you want to close your edit, what's going to happen is it's going to make it very, very difficult, because you have to pull your builds again and you have to make sure that you hit the reset on it. So it's pretty much 2 steps in order to close it, and it's very, very difficult. And as well with this edit right here, you notice it how once you go for the edit, you still have that little bit extra kind of build on the side. So even if you're getting shot at, you can kind of duck behind it, and as well it's a lot easier to close the build. So doing the edit where you edit the top 3 squares is going to be so much more effective than going for the edit where you kind of edit the top 3 squares, but in kind of like the diagonal kind of motion. But also another way that you can get out is basically you make a window in the corner, you can kind of crouch walk out. But the problem with that is once you crouch walk, it is a little bit slower. But if you can get really good at editing the top 3 squares and then doing it in situations like that, it's going to be so much more effective because you can close the edit a lot easier. And as well, it's going to make it so if you get shot at, you can have a little bit extra build to hide behind. And with that being said, I have that 18 kill gameplay that I want to show you for you guys. But for the editing tips, that's all I have for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys liked it. And if you guys could, drop a like on this video. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on my notifications to be notified for every single new video. And alright guys, I will see you next video.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.